So for this video, we are going to be working on the Hitch Peg, which is part 4 of our train project. So first things first, we need to click on the plus sign and create part studio. So this is where we're going to be making our object. So our object this time, the Hitch Peg, we are going to be using the revolve tool at the end to create this. So that's why we have this sliced in. This isn't what the object is going to look like at the end. It's just showing you, hey, this gray area is what we're going to be drawing and then revolving. So we're going to click on sketch. Click on our front plane, and then click on the front of our cube to flatten it out. Now we're going to add in a line. So I'm going to go from the origin and go up, and then I'm going to dimension my line. So this dimension, it's the tallest one right here, which is 0.65. Alright, I'm going to zoom in. I can place in my other lines, so I can add in this Z. And right now I'm not being too concerned with the dimensions, I'm just making sure everything's at a nice 90-degree angle. Alright, what I'm going to do from here is actually going to be a little bit strange because we're going to do something and then undo it before we finish our sketch. So I'm going to click on that first line we placed in, and I'm going to turn it into a construction line. So in this program, it uses the center line notation as a construction line. So the long dash, short dash, short dash repeating. So it seems like for Onshape it uses a combination of the center line and a construction line all in one. So we're going to use it as the center line, but then when we revolve, we're going to have to undo it because it ignores it as if it was a construction line. So that's why it seems like it's a dual purpose line. Alright, so now we're going to add in a dimension for the bottom portion. So we're going to click on this little dot and the line right here. So you can see how if I go to one side of the line, it just shows me just half of the distance of what I want, and if I go to the other, it shows me the diameter, which is the full distance what I want. So I'm going to make sure it shows both. So I'm going to click, and I'm going to change my dimension to this bottom diameter, which is right here. So that is 0.25, so quarter inch. Okay, so it's a quarter inch diameter. If for some reason you messed up and only got half of it, you're going to want an eighth. So what that would be, if you were to type it in, would be 0.125, so just in case you messed up. Well, not messed up, but did differently. Alright, so the next one we're going to put in is the height of this line. So this one is our second tallest, which is here. So that is 0.5. Okay, the next thing we're going to put in is our arc for this top portion. So the arc that I want to use for this one is the center point arc. So the thing with the center point arc is we're putting in the center point, but we want to make sure we do not connect it to the center point of our starting line. We want to put it slightly above. So if you get that yellow box, move your cursor up and then click. So next thing we're going to do is click at the very top of the line, and then we're going to connect to that line that we added in originally that we just didn't put a dimension on yet. So you're going to want to go until you get that yellow box and then click. So what we can do from here is actually use the trim tool, which is hidden. Oh, where is it? There it is. Okay, so I have all of my tools kind of smushed. So let's see, where would it pop up if you also had it smushed? Oh, right here. So you would click on the arrow next to the fillet and trim tool. There it is, right there. And let's just say you didn't draw the line long enough, you could use extend. So trim that little bit off, and there we go. So we have one last dimension to add in. So you can see how our lines have been going from the blue color, that dark blue, to black. We want to have all our dimension lines and everything black at the end. We don't want any blue. So we want to now dimension this arc. So this arc is right here. And if you're wondering why it has an S before the R for radius, that's for surface radius. So instead of just radius, we have surface radius. So for this one, we have 0.208. All right. So from here, we have everything all dimensioned properly. I'm going to back out of my dimension tool. Now I'm going to click on that starting line again. and then click on the construction line tool. So that's undoing that construction line. So you see how it went from the clear kind of background color to a little bit of a gray. That shows you that we now have a solid shape to extrude or revolve or whatever we want to do. Before it was kind of like open, even though it had the line, construction line from when you're extruding or revolving, it ignores it. So that's why we had to undo that little piece. Okay, so now we're going to use the revolve tool. And we are revolving this sketch around this surface. Oh, I didn't select it. There we go. All right. So you can see that is what we want our shape to look like. So I'm going to click there. All right. So we are going to rename our part studio to number 4 Hitch Peg. Okay, so that is our full object. So in the next video, I am going to show you how to make the work drawing, or at least the start of the work drawing, for your hitch peg. So good luck.